Hello, 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 hello. Today, yes, today we got the MECA EVO sequential shifter. Let's get shifting. Okay, as always, let's get the price out of the way first. This beautiful black shifter here from MECA is going to cost you $248. That's excluding any taxes or shipping. And yeah, let's just get straight into the looks. One of the biggest reasons that I've bought this MECA sequential shifter is the fact that I just think it looks amazing. I mean, just look at it. What? It looks like it came straight out of a race car or a drift car. It just looks amazing. It looks the part. It's nice and tall, like you would want a sequential shifter to be. I've seen a lot of the sequential shifters that's a little bit shorter. I wanted something that is that little bit taller, so this ticked the box for me. You got the silver accents and the whole thing is black. It just mounted onto my rig, it looks amazing. And then as well, this thing is not very bulky. If you look at it over here, it is a nice, it's not too wide. It's not like a H pattern shifter. It's in a big box. You know, it's quite compact, and that's one of the reasons I like this. So yeah, looks, I definitely think they nailed it, and yeah, it is perfect. Well done, MECA. This shifter is built very, very well. It is made out of 4mm thick steel. Let me show you. Put this over here. And you can be as heavy-handed and rough with this shifter as you want to be. Doesn't matter how hard you shift this thing will last. It is really built very well. It comes with this nice knob at the end. Now it does look like it might be brushed aluminium, but it is not. It is in fact a very nice hard plastic. Nothing wrong with it at all. I like the feel of it. I will be keeping this right where it is. I won't be changing it, but if you prefer something different, this does screw off. As you can see, just screws off, and it's an M10 thread, so most of your shifters will fit onto the tip of this. Okay, what I also really like is, I know a lot of people won't like this, but I don't mind this little box where you connect your USB-C on the one side and this RJ connector on the other side. This is separate, so you're going to have to mount this possibly on the side. It's got two mounting holes. Let me mold it like this. So you got your two mounting holes there. You can mount it on the side of your rig. I don't mind having this box somewhere else, because anything that makes this maybe less bulky is a win for me. If I had to stick this somewhere here and make the shifter a bit, you know, a bit wider or something, it would have been more difficult to possibly mount it in tighter spaces. So I'm quite a fan of this being separate. When I put this under my rig or somewhere, nobody will even know it's there. Now, the thing that I despise the most out of this whole shifter here is the mounting. This thing is really hard to mount if you have an aluminium profile rig, and I would say most people who actually spend 300 plus for a shifter after it's delivered will most likely have an aluminium rig of some sort. Now this is okay if you're going to mount it onto plywood or I don't know, you drill yourself a base, but this does not come with any mounting plate whatsoever. You just got these holes here. So you see here, you've got mount there. Now these do not line up with any aluminium profile. So that is not 80 and it's not 40 by 40. It doesn't make sense. Now you can mount this just on the one side if you so choose to, but I don't think that will be a good or permanent solution. It would have been so much better if they literally just had another plate like this one, just here on, you know, this vertical one, put one here horizontally, and I would have been able to mount one there, and yeah, I would have been able to get at least 3 screws into my aluminium profile, which now I can't. And it took me a week. I actually had to order a little piece of aluminium profile, I'll show you, just so that I can mount this on my rig. And yeah, I don't think that is very good. For the price you are paying, they could have put a little piece of metal plate in the box for us, so that mounting would have been a lot easier. In fact, out of everything I've ever mounted onto my sim rig, this took me the longest and was probably the most problematic, and that includes pedals, so that's saying something. Anyway, okay, functionality. How does this shifter actually work, and how does it perform? So, a few things to note first. You can adjust the preload of this shifter with this over here, and I believe on the inside over there is a screw. Now, I've not really played much with it. I actually find the way it comes out of a box is just okay. You can also adjust the stiffness of the shifter. If you want it a bit firmer and harder to pull, you can adjust it up to 7 kilos. If you prefer it a little bit lighter and easier, the shift, you can set it to 2 kilos. So between 2 and 7 kilos, it's quite a nice range from being easy to quite heavy. So, you know, if you prefer it quite stiff, then this could do for you. If you prefer it nice and sloppy, you know, this will also do for you. Okay, so another thing, and one of the things that I don't like about this shifter, and it's a big thing, is the fact that when I'm actually shifting this thing, it just feels very arcade-like to me. It doesn't feel like, for the price you're paying for this, I just feel like there could have been something else to make it feel that little bit more realistic. I just feel like I'm pulling a stick and there's a spring that pushes it back to the center position. There's not a really great feeling when I'm shifting it. Don't get me wrong, there's a nice click, but it's not... it's definitely not. I would have liked maybe a 2-stage something just else that makes it feel like more you are changing gears. And yeah, it just, like I said, feels very much like you in the arcade. It's just a bit stiffer. So yeah, the shift itself and the feeling you get from it, I think, could be better. It is literally just a spring that pushes forward and back. So that definitely MECA could make a little bit better, especially at this price point. I think they could have they could have paid a bit more attention to that. However, the feeling that the shifter gives you is great. That little bit of immersion you're getting is amazing. I've never had a shifter. Believe it or not, I've got quite an elaborate setup over here. And the last thing, this is my first ever shifter, and it's the last thing I'm buying. I should have bought this way earlier, because do you know what? The fun factor is right up there. I've been driving cars that I've been driving for so long, like the Mazda MX-5, and I've now took it back and I've only got a wheel, no buttons, no shifters, just this and my wheel. And the fun I've had doing it is amazing. Now, does this make you faster? Hell no. If anything, it makes you slower. You're going to be driving a lot of the time with one hand on the wheel while you're shifting. And sometimes with cars that have quicker shift points, you know, you're definitely going to be driving like this first, second gear before you even touch the steering wheel. So keep that in mind. But for the fun factor, this definitely has made me feel more like a racing driver, and that is amazing. I mean, this will go straight back onto my rig when I'm done with this review, and I'll be using it. And I'm going to start, this is going to make me want to play rally games. It's going to make me want to start drifting. That is something I really want to get into. I've not had time to do things like that. I'm starting to get a little bit more time on my hands. So I want to start drifting and enjoying different sims. And yeah, this definitely is a piece of equipment that's going to make me enjoy them other sims and just cars that I've just got so used to that, you know, now there's a different element, something else. And yeah, for that reason, this is a very good product, and I'm very happy with it. And I can live with the fact that the feeling of the shift is a little bit mundane and a little bit bland. But I'm sure that's something that they'll improve in the future. Okay. And here we are on the conclusion. What do I think? What are my overall thoughts? Yeah, okay, it's definitely a very well built shifter and it looks amazing. The shift itself, like I've said, feels a bit plain and just feels like a stick with a spring on it. So I do think though it can be improved there. However, don't let that discourage you. It's still very well built. Like I said, you can knock this thing in and out and it's going to last, which is important, especially with a sequential shifter, because you tend to be more heavy-handed with them. Now, the mounting plate at the bottom, yeah, that was definitely not the best option, and whoever was behind that design did not think it completely through. It's not a deal breaker, but it's definitely something to consider. You might have to buy extra hardware or extra, you might have to drill. It definitely is going to take you a little bit of work to get this connected onto your rig and your setup. But yeah, other than that, I'm very happy with it. I do not have any buyer's remorse. Now, honestly, I've once or twice maybe thought, maybe I should have bought that one. But after having one or two races with it, then I'm right back into it, and I am loving it. Like I said, it's going straight back onto my rig, and I'm going to enjoy it for, I'm sure, a long time to come. Now, if you made it to here, thank you very much. It is much appreciated. Please, I'm a new channel. Like this video. It goes a really long way in helping me. And while you're there, guy, just subscribe, okay? And I hope your next race is a winner. Hallelujah! Hey, guy. Click on the helmet. Thank you for watching.